Feeling stuck in your old home? Once upon a time, a delightful couple named Sarah and David lived in a quaint suburban neighborhood. They were your typical middle-class duo, navigating life's ups and downs with humor and wit. Their pride and joy were their cozy two-story home, complete with a white picket fence and a garden that seemed to grow more weeds than flowers. One sunny afternoon, Sarah and David sat on their porch, sipping lemonade and contemplating their future. With a mischievous twinkle in her eye, Sarah turned to David and said, "You know, dear, we've got this house with all its charming quirks, and we've built up quite a bit of equity. What if we use that equity to buy a new home with lower interest rates and fewer quirks?" David, always ready for a good laugh, raised an eyebrow. "Less quirks? Are you telling me you're tired of our constantly dripping faucet and the mysterious creaking floorboard in the hallway?" Sarah chuckled. "Well, it would be nice not to feel like we're living in a DIY home improvement show." So, the dynamic duo set out to explore their options, armed with their humorous outlook on life. They contacted a real estate agent and a mortgage broker, determined to find their dream home with fewer quirks and a more attractive interest rate. They decided to take an unconventional route to make this amusing tale even more entertaining. Instead of selling their current home, they decided to use an equity loan to buy the new one first, and then they would tackle the sale of their old house. With a devilish grin, David said, "You know what they say, darling, why make things simple when you can make them hilariously complicated?" Sarah laughed heartily, loving every moment of their absurd adventure. "Exactly. Let's do this." With the help of their real estate agent, they found a spacious and relatively quirk-free house that fit their needs perfectly. The best part was that this new house came with a ridiculously low interest rate, as if the universe itself had decided to join in on their comical escapade. To finance this zany endeavor, they tapped into the equity of their old home and used it as a down payment. And thus, they became the proud owners of two houses, one old, one new, both in various states of repair and quirkiness. The hilarity continued as they juggled home inspections, mortgage paperwork, and the occasional visit from bewildered neighbors wondering why on earth they had two houses. But Sarah and David embraced the chaos, turning each hiccup into a punchline and each challenge into a story to share at their neighborhood block parties. In the end, they successfully sold their old home, waving goodbye to its quirks with a mix of nostalgia and relief. They settled into their new, less quirky abode, secure in the knowledge that their equity-inspired, humor-filled adventure had led them to a brighter and more financially stable future. Their friends and neighbors often marveled at their unconventional journey, learning a valuable lesson along the way, that in life, as in comedy, it's not about avoiding the quirks. It's about finding the humor in them and turning them into a story worth telling.